This is Turning Point with Diane Sawyer, Forrest Sawyer, and tonight, Barbara Walters.
Little girls, 2,000 little girls, all sharing the same dream.
Annie. Tomorrow, I love you. Tomorrow, I want to be a Broadway star. It's not like they're going to kill you if you don't get it, so...
No, but a $4 million production will ride on one set of tiny shoulders.
No stuff. I know, I'm nervous too.
Who will it be?
These are the keeps, and these are the goodbyes.
And what does it take to make it to Broadway? Tonight, backstage drama, broken hearts,
This girl is great.
and a pint-sized Cinderella story.
Turning Point. Tonight, Broadway's new Annie. Search for a star.
Good evening. I'm Barbara Walters. For some little girls, it's a dream come true to play Annie on Broadway. But think what it takes for a child to become a Broadway star. What kind of ambition would she and her parents have to have? Well, during the past 8 months, we had a chance to find out. 20 years after Annie first debuted on Broadway, almost all of the original team has been reassembled to stage a revival. But the show's success will hinge on one special girl. And we went along for the ride as the producers searched for her among the lines and lines of little girls who auditioned. Would you want this for your child? Would she? Tonight, gather your family around, for our story is for everyone. It's fun and it's music, and it's about overcoming backstage jitters to give the performance of your life.
"24 hours a day, some little girl somewhere is waking up and wants to put on that red dress and that wig and sing those songs."
20 years ago, Martin Charnin, Annie's original lyricist and director, had never worked with a child actor.
We'll send 20 in at a time. Parents go down that aisle.
Smile, come on, you're on your way to Broadway.
We have to keep our eyes out. And if anybody sees a face that they really are smitten with, if you fall in love with a freckle, yell and point, I may miss it.
Only 32 girls tried out for the original show. Now it seems that every girl between 5 and 13 is singing his song.
Come out tomorrow. Bet your bottom dollar that tomorrow there'll be sun.
It's fun now.
Shouting about tomorrow clears away the cobwebs and the sorrow till there's none.
I feel for them, and I like them. They're wonderful. They're thrilling.
And lonely, I sing on my chin and grin and say, come out tomorrow.
All of them so eager, and that kind of eagerness, when you see it in a child, is wonderful. When you see it in an actor, is wonderful.
Tomorrow, I love you. Tomorrow, you're only your day.
You can tell, and you can see what happens to their eyes when they sing. You can read all of that stuff in kids. Actually, you can read it a lot faster in kids than you can do in adults.
72, come with me.
Brian Young was a stage manager of the original Annie.
Come up here.
Early on, it's just about numbers. I mean, there are so many children. You saw us take huge groups and break them into smaller groups and down to smaller groups and down to smaller groups and down to smaller groups. You just don't want to lose track of a kid. You just don't.
You go here, you go back to where you were, 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 you go back.
In 5 different cities and in professional auditions, it's the same quest. Narrow down the masses to a talented few who will come back to the New York finals. Martin knows the Annie he's looking for.
She is a survivor She's a spunky, street smart kid that you root for the minute that the curtain goes up. We want scruffy kids who look like they've gone through hell in the Depression in this orphanage run by this creepy lady. The rougher the edge that this kid has, the better off. I don't want you to do Shirley Temple for me, okay? I just want you to be natural, really natural. Okay, just relax and don't give me a lot of smiles and a lot of stuff. I don't want stuff. Got it?
Yeah.
No stuff.
I'm nervous.
I know, I'm nervous too. No stuff. Okay.
Justine Griffiths, 9 years old, has starred in Annie many times, but only in her own bedroom. Her parents told her she was terrific, so she came to the Boston tryout. She's never auditioned for anything before.
I like showing it and getting a lot of attention and everything. I want to be a Broadway star.
Now, can you do the end of it without moving your hands at all? Because it's cold in here and we got a draft from all of that. When I'm stuck from there, when I'm stuck with a day, stand still.
Martin sees her as a diamond in the rough. She may be just what he needs.
Yeah, to the end.
When I'm stuck with one day, that's great.
No, calm down. Okay, just relax. Just stand there and sing. Get rid of all of that junk in your head. Just sing, easy. When I'm stuck with a day, just easy. Relax. Look at me, sing. No, what are you winding up? You're gonna take off. You'll be in Cape Cod in 10 minutes. You're gonna go like that. Keep your hands still. Come on. When I'm stuck.
When I'm stuck with a day, that's great and lonely.
Justine makes the cut. She'll come to the callbacks in New York.
If I do get it, I'd be really, really happy. And if I didn't get it, then maybe it would be the best and I should just, like, live my kid life and how I've been living it.
Martin needs an Annie, an understudy, and 6 orphans. One of the tiniest auditioners is Christiana Anbri, 5 years old.
That's great and lonely. I just stuck up my chin. I started dancing when I was 2, and I started singing when I was like 4 or 3.
She's been in 32 beauty pageants and won 30 of them. Her parents' living room is now the trophy room.
I like to do everything that's fun. I try out, and then it's fun for me when I do it a lot. You only have to model, and then go off, model again, model one more time, you're done.
Mom and Dad, along with Christiana's agent, spend their free time working on Christiana's modeling career.
It seems like 2 or 3 times a week. You know, she's pretty busy, though.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Christiana joins the list of finalists. By this point, Martin has seen more than 1,000 little girls.
Little girls, everywhere I turn, I can see them. Little girls, night and day, I eat, sleep, and breathe them. Some women are dripping with diamonds. Some women are dripping with pearls. Lucky me, look at what I'm dripping with. Little girls. 2, 3, 4.
In Atlanta, Martin selects another finalist to go on to New York.
That's great and lonely.
And that's Jane Bailey Patterson. She's got personality. She makes great faces on stage.
All I've been listening to is
Just
Annie, 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 Annie. My mom's getting tired of it, too.
8 years old, she's never done anything more public than a local variety show.
If I don't get the part of Annie, I'm going to try out for Molly. She is another main part. And if I don't get Molly, I'm going to try out for Pepper. If I don't get Pepper, I don't know who I'm going to try out for. Maybe Tessie. If I don't get this part, or any of the parts, I'll be very disappointed, too. I would be very angry.
Another 8-year-old girl auditioning for a role as an orphan gets special treatment. But then Martin has known her since she was born. She's the daughter of the original Broadway Annie, Andrea McArdle.
But you've never, ever had a lesson, have you? No singing, no dancing, no nothing. And what happens when Mommy puts the album on? What do you say? I hear you say, stop it.
Don't sing?
Don't sing.
Sound familiar?
Sing. The
sun come out tomorrow, so you gotta follow that.
I let her audition because she bugged me every single day for a year, and telling them no, they can't do it is the worst thing you could do for anybody. You know, she's a backstage
goodbye.
kid.
I gotta go to work. Thank you.
So it was good, it was fun.
Martin's conclusion, she needs more work, a few lessons.
Goodbye, Mom.
Bye.
Thanks.
In Philadelphia, 9-year-old Lindsay Watkins, who has never auditioned for anything, was picked to go on to New York.
If I could faint and I knew how to faint right now, I probably would.
My grandmother, she's more excited than I am. They've made so many phone calls. My mom's ears should have fell off.
Mom and Dad have told everyone it worked, but Lindsay's big brother isn't impressed.
He's calling me Fanny now. And he said if I got the part, he'd change the A to an F and call me Fanny.
The other Philadelphia finalist, Joanna Pacitti, is no stranger to singing in public. She got her start just down the living room stairs from her home, in her dad's barbershop.
Sing actually in my dad's barbershop. I used to come down here and sing, and they'd give me tips, and I used to call it my Saturday gig because like every Saturday I'd come down because usually it's practically the same people, so they just love it, so they give me tips, and that's like really cool.
As for the finals, Joanna's trying not to get nervous.
I just think, well, if I don't get it, then I don't get it, and it's just an audition, and it's not like they're gonna kill you if you don't get it, so.
Too tall. You want to be Annie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes a child just catches the director's eye. That was the case with 8-year-old Holly Ott. Her hometown, believe it or not, is Broadway, New Jersey, and she's been in a couple of local shows. Her parents, a postman and a homemaker, say that theater is Holly's second favorite thing after her karate lessons. And Annie is her favorite play.
When I get older and have my own kids, it would be great to tell them that, hey, honey, hey, kids, your mom was on Broadway.
But then it was Holly's turn to sing.
No, I don't want you to do that. You're going tomorrow. Tomorrow. Too loud.
Just sometimes when I get kind of scared, and it was really scary, so it kind of like came out. I kept saying, Mom, come here, I want to go home, because I was really frightened. And then she kind of settled it for me, and then I sat with the director, and then he let me watch.
149 was singing with you, right?
Something about the little girl's face makes Martin want to see her again. She makes the finals.
I'm just gonna think about just smile and do your best. It's just amazing to think that this would happen to me. I never thought this would happen. I always thought it would be a dream in my head.
The ones that I've put this little dot next to are the ones...
For the lucky little girls who've made the cut, there will be one final day of auditions, and then one of them will be Annie.
Broadway's new Annie, Search for a Star. Tonight's Turning Point will continue in a moment. Turning Point, Broadway's new Annie, Search for a Star continues. Once again, Barbara Walters.
The time of reckoning has arrived. By the end of the day, Annie, her understudy, and 6 orphans will be chosen to star in the Broadway revival of the musical Annie. August 7th, at a nondescript rehearsal hall in Midtown Manhattan, the finalists have gathered, selected from 2,000 for the last auditions.
Orphan candidates, we're looking for 6, and an Annie understudy. So we are, in effect, also looking for an Annie in the whole first
It's a hard knock life for us. It's a hard knock life for us.
I mean, these are wildly talented children.
Lindsay Watkins is back from New Jersey. Jane Bailey Patterson from Alabama. Justine Griffiths comes down from Connecticut. Christiana Anbri and Joanna Pacitti, who it turns out are best friends, come back from Philadelphia, even though that morning, Christiana wakes up with a fever of 103. Her mom sends in some children's aspirin.
Act, I want to try and see what kind of an actor she is this one.
You stole my shoes!
I did not.
Yes, you did! Where are they? You stole my shoes!
I did not.
Yes, you did too. Now where are they? You stole my shoes!
What a treat.
Holly Ott, one of Martin's favorites, is back from Broadway, New Jersey. She has another chance to sing, but again is struck with stage fright. Martin, who thinks she might be right for the role of an orphan, still believes he could overcome her nerves in rehearsal.
Is Harley here?
But when he goes to find her parents...
Brian, where did Harley's parents go?
I had them right in that chair, right here, all three of them.
He finds they've left.
She doesn't want to do it. She doesn't be in it. She won't adjust to it.
Okay.
It's time to start making cuts.
The little girl at the end who is, she can't, she's got 5 left feet. Yeah. I mean, it's terrifying disappointment. No, she's like, she's not in a million years. She's like, she's just not going. She's not going to do it. She's. These are the keeps, and these are the goodbyes.
How long a break do you?
As for today, that's all we need, and we thank you. Bye-bye.
For this room full of little girls, that's all. Their dreams of a Broadway role in Annie end right here. A few parents figure out their girls are still inside, still in the running. Finalists who survive the cuts are reading a scene.
His name is Sandy. Right, that's it, Sandy. I call him Sandy, you see, because it was nice sandy color.
Let's see him answer to his name.
Answer? You mean when I call him? Well, you see, officer, I just got him, and sometimes...
Call him!
Here's Sandy. Good Sandy. Good old Sandy.
The ones who can act, Lindsay can act.
Yes.
Alexandra can act. Christina can act. Justine can act. And Joanna can act. The ones who can't, or who, I mean, they can just do it, I suppose, by rote, are the others.
Christine is Christine Marie Bogan, a girl who seems born to be Annie.
Is that the real color of your hair?
I've dyed it a lot of times, so I don't really know.
You've dyed your hair a lot of times?
She's a pro. 8 hours of dancing and singing lessons a week. and she's played Annie twice before. Once in a dinner theater, once in the International Touring Company in Korea.
I really like doing that part, and I love being on stage. And my dream is to be on Broadway. So if I get this part, then I'll be really, really happy.
Alexandra Kiesman, a 9-year-old from New York City, has also emerged as a contender.
That's enough. Hold it. Hold it.
This is a $4 million decision. That's how much money is riding on the choice they're about to make. The little girl Martin chooses can make or sink the production.
The three contenders, as far as I'm concerned, still remain Joanna, Christina Marie, and Alexandra. They are the three kids who are...
Alexandra stays with me.
Alexandra disturbs me. She's too cheerful. There's just too much of a sunflower in her. There's no sadness in that child.
They've told the press they'll announce the new Annie the next morning.
Best of the best.
Gentlemen, I mean...
It has to be.
No, it has to be. It has to be today.
We have to decide now.
I mean, we have
And
to
also,
make
you
this.
know, we've spent 2.5 months. I mean,
We've seen every child there is to see.
Hundreds of girls.
The Annie lookalike does everything.
The Annie lookalike is great, but she is a mimic. She's not an actor.
She's done it, too.
She's done it before.
Well, I don't know whether she's done it. I mean, that can be gotten out of her, but it nevertheless is she gives you back nothing.
And this is not because I'm the musical director. I found them shrieking at me.
Yeah.
I felt shrieked at, and that their acting was atrocious. I think there were kids bit probably from the street
who were better. I mean,
and that's no.
I'm perfectly fine about there being another kid. Where is she? She ain't here. She is not here today. But I don't know. That's wrong. I'm quitting, and I refuse to quit. This girl is great.
Martin has made up his mind. Tomorrow he'll tell the world who Broadway's new Annie is. The first time he cast an Annie, 20 years ago, he didn't really have a musical yet. In 1976, Martin developed Annie at the Goodspeed Opera House, a tiny regional theater in rural Connecticut. Like most Broadway shows, Annie started out far from the Great White Way and far from an instant hit. It felt like a theatrical disaster. Michael Price is Goodspeed's director.
It was a little bit more painful than most of the other new shows that we've done, and I think the greatest pain was the replacement of the original Annie.
The original Annie was Kristen Vigard, cast before the songs even had lyrics.
You couldn't make it up to be more like, let's put on a play in the garage, come on, kids. You couldn't exaggerate it or embellish it anymore.
Kristen and Andrea McArdle, who played an orphan, lived through a grueling 5.5-hour dress rehearsal during a hurricane.
The lights in all of Connecticut apparently went out.
There was actually people there when the play started, but little by little, everyone sort of ran out to go board up their houses.
Scenery fell, things didn't
I do remember the orphanage door fell flat down.
And the dog had gotten hit by a car. I mean, he had gotten run over by one of our own cars, like, not that long before, so I had a little cast on.
At the end, there were 3 old people who couldn't get up, I guess, asleep in the balcony. I mean, it was just unbelievable, unbelievable.
Some loved it, some hated it. Martin cut songs, replaced scenes, and 1 week into the run, replaced Kristen. Martin decided she was too sweet and refined for the part.
I was the one who said goodbye to Kristen Vigard, and it was tough.
Tomorrow, bet your bottom dollar that
Maybe that's why I don't want my daughter in show business.
there'll be sun. Just thinking about tomorrow.
Kristen's gone on to a successful acting and singing career. But the Broadway fame went to that little girl plucked from the chorus of orphans, Andrea McArdle.
On the Sunday night when I let Kristen go, I said, Andrea, I want you to play Annie. And her response was, okay.
I loved it from the get-go, and I still love it.
And we crashed the entire show in maybe 36, 48 hours. And she went on Tuesday night, and everything turned around.
Tomorrow, you're always a day.
Being Annie is probably every little girl's dream. It was wild. It was fun. It was, once you do that, I mean, you're addicted forever.
She's gone on to a grown-up career on the stage, leads in a dozen musicals, from Les Miserables to State Fair. Another Broadway Annie, Sarah Jessica Parker, has gone on to sitcoms and films and 2 Broadway shows in the past year. Annie was her first musical.
I really just can't believe. I can't believe I'm in Annie. I'm in the musical Annie. And I kept saying that I thought for certain I would be hit by a bus or something, that, that it was like living a dream.
Even the dog Sandy became a star and created an accidental career for Bill Berloni. Bill was a 19-year-old apprentice carpenter at Goodspeed when Martin sent him to the pound to find the first Sandy. Bill's been an animal trainer ever since, providing his own pets for hundreds of shows and films. He has 4 or 5 Sandys ready to go at all times, all of them like the original dog from the pound.
Zappa! Come on, Zappa!
Bill brings Zappa to the big moment, the day these girls have worked 2 months for. It's Martin's press conference to announce the final cast, and Andrea herself comes to crown her successor. The orphans, as Tessie, Lindsay Watkins. As Molly, the littlest orphan, Christiana Anbri. As Annie's understudy, Alexandra Kiesman. And the new Annie. For the other finalists, there'll be other auditions. Joanna Pacitti's first thought, get on the phone and tell her father at the barbershop.
Dad, where's my mic? I got it. I know. Girls take a picture for Neil. And I'll with the dog.
I couldn't talk. Every time I opened my mouth to talk, I cried more. Then I said, okay, I'll talk to you later. That was all I said to her.
For Joanna's mother, Stella, who is also her vocal coach, it's a dream come true. For Joanna herself, it's her first moment of Broadway stardom. Now the big question, can she pull it off? When we come back, Joanna, Nell Carter, and the roller coaster ride to the Broadway stage.
Broadway's new Annie, Search for a Star. Tonight's Turning Point will continue in a moment. Broadway's new Annie, Search for a Star.
When we come back, getting a little girl ready for Broadway.
I don't hear sun. The sun will come out.
The sun will come out tomorrow.
She's never had the responsibility of playing something with this kind of detail. You think, oh, it's so easy. You just walk on stage with the dog and boom, you're in business. It's tough.
Turning Point will continue after this from our ABC stations. Turning Point. Broadway's new Annie, Search for a Star continues. Once again, Barbara Walters.
For Joanna Pacitti, playing Annie is a dream come true. But Joanna is about to give up everything she's ever known. Home, school, and friends, in exchange for the bright lights and a salary of about $1,000 a week. We now go behind the scenes where the cast is getting down to work, and work it is for the young actresses.
1, 2, 3, 4. It's the hard knock life for us. It's the hard knock life for us. Instead of treating me instead of treating me.
8 hours hours a day, 6 days a week, Martin struggles to turn 7 kids, 2 dogs, and 19 actors into a hit show.
You're angry. You're mad. I don't see enough of it in this number. You're absolutely tired of cleaning, scrubbing the floor. It's 4 o'clock in the morning.
In this rehearsal space, we improvise in rehearsal, as you can tell. This is really the line in our show portal. It helps the kids to line up on a straight line with their buckets.
For John Schuck, the actor playing billionaire Daddy Warbucks, rehearsal means going bald.
Goodbye, hair. Now that we're going into rehearsal, I think it's good to become as close to the character as you can. I guess you could look at the top of the head as like one giant chin.
Schuck has played the role more than 1,000 times, shaving his own head every afternoon before the show.
Gosh.
Did you sleep?
Everybody's got jitters.
It's probably sort of like Christmas.
Yeah.
Miss Hannigan, Annie's nemesis, will be played on Broadway by TV and film star Nell Carter.
In my heart of heart, I've missed Broadway. And it's something that I cannot explain.
Nell's no stranger to Broadway. 20 years ago, when Annie was in its first run, she was performing 4 blocks away, winning her first Tony in Broadway's Ain't Misbehaving.
This is the most disciplined, the hardest working, the lowest paying.
Because Nell is taking the role, the original team writes in a new song for the new Miss Hannigan.
He's got claws and he's got news. Now he's gonna blacken both your baby blues. Don't mess with mother or you're through.
Once I hit the stage, I'm no longer Nell Carter. I want to do that. Don't mess with mother, are you through? And I want this show to run at least 3 years. I mean, at least with me in it. Then I want to take a week off.
The canine stars, Zappa and Cindy Lou, the understudy dog, may live with Bill Berloni, but they spend all day with Joanna. She's now their trainer.
It's really weird. When he told me that, I was like, I'm the trainer. I thought you were the trainer. If Bill's trying to, train him, the dog's not going to know to do what I say and take the commands from me.
What we've done is devised hand signals, which very naturally fit into the flow of the play. It's like if you wanted to go down, you just press her nose down. If you wanted to come up, scratch her chin. One of the cues that I give, which is when we want them to speak, I'm actually in the wings, and all I have to do is nod my head. So, Cindy, speak. Good girl. So if she's on stage and she's supposed to be barking at a policeman, and you put me behind the policeman in the wings, it looks like she's barking at the policeman.
Take your time. I don't hear sun. The sun will come out.
The sun will come out.
She's never had the responsibility of playing something with this kind of detail. You know, you think, oh, it's so easy. You just walk on stage with the dog, you sit him down, and boom, you're in business. Don't act yet. The sun will... You're rubbing the dog. Don't worry. Everything's going to be fine for the both of us. If not today, well, the sun will come out. It's to yourself. Tomorrow. Yeah. It's tough. You got to really be smart in order to be in the theater. Otherwise, it looks like you're making fur balls.
Mine was...
Joanna and the other girls, all between 6 and 12, will be living out of a suitcase for the next 5 months.
Write the numbers.
Each day, a tiny slice of the real world. Hours of classes in a rehearsal hall with a private tutor.
Thousands. I always tell my mom, because she always asks me, do you really want to do this? I tell her, You know what my playtime is? My playtime is on the stage. It's just like a kid going to a playground. My playground is on the stage because I love being on stage.
You're in trouble if you let go of him. All right, you hold on to him. This is a musical that has to be played at a good level of energy and pace. If it drags, if you land on the jokes, it's one of the dangers, it's one of the pitfalls in terms of how actors play it.
What number are you supposed to be on? Lean over with it. Reach out. That's
Right.
good. That's it. Perfect.
Lean on it. Lean. That's what I want to say. Don't.
Again, same thing. Positions, ladies. I know there's a lot to think about, but you're very smart.
While the cast finds its feet, the producers have to find the money, almost $4 million.
It's easy to lose all your money in a Broadway show. It's easy to lose half your money in the Broadway show.
Union costs eat up cash. Even we had to pay union fees to shoot rehearsals. And it takes almost 90 people to put on the show.
This will cost $300,000 a week just to operate. We have to gross each week more than $300,000.
Sets alone will cost $500,000. Long before a single ticket is sold, designer Ken Foy shows Martin a mock-up of the set in black and white.
The laundry cart can be pulled out.
The color comes in later, when the set is built in the scene shop. Each backdrop is 40 feet across, 23 feet high. In a Broadway first, Ken Foy does all his color drawings by computer. Billionaire Daddy Warbucks' house is all the color of money, including the art collection of a man so rich he hires Picasso to do his portrait. Even the molding is a design taken from the front of a dollar bill. And except for Annie's dress, no bright red in the whole show, not even in the Christmas scene.
An enormous amount of our percentage of our budget is in the set. Very, very large and very costly. But it's important for us to ultimately, when we come into New York, have a show that looks like it was built just for Broadway.
It's all a tremendous gamble. The original Annie cost only $800,000, and it's still making money. But a sequel, Annie 2, never even made it to Broadway. The attempt to make a second Annie story lost its investors $7 million.
Approximately one show out of 7 ever recoups.
You'll notice they don't rehearse in the theater. Rehearsal halls are cheaper. And they don't wear the costumes either. They aren't ready. Theoni Aldredge has only 17 sewing days to recreate her Tony-winning designs.
All the way up. Because
it takes thousands of yards of fabric, hand tailoring, and about $350,000.
Just get rid of that.
Look up, my love. Thank you.
I actually feel like I'm an adult because they treat me like an adult. It's just like, wow, I'm the lead role, and it's, God, I feel so important. It's really weird. It's very fun. I love it.
In most Broadway shows, you don't have to worry about the actors growing. Here, the girls are carefully measured once a week. Grow up, and you grow out of the cast.
We have a clause in the contract. It's been in the contract from day one, back in 1977. 10 pounds, 2 inches from where they are.
Now, it's only 2 weeks before opening night. The cast travels to Houston. Joanna and the girls see the real stage for the first time.
I've never seen something this big. I mean, our auditorium's big, but not
the orchestra pit. Whoa. Oh, wow. Just imagine when we're looking at it, we'll be looking out and you see all the seats, all them people. All them seats are going to be filled. Oh, God, I'm getting And then this is this one.
That one's cute. I like this. Their moms troop along, though they still haven't seen a moment of rehearsal. They're not allowed.
All right. Good luck.
These girls are going on an 8-city tour. They have to get used to tiny wireless microphones worn on their foreheads. Used to sets that fly up and down and spin. They open in 11 days, and never far from their minds, this show is going to Broadway.
You don't wake up in this business in the morning and say, I gotta get to Topeka. You wake up in this business and you say, I've got to get to Broadway. And that's where the dream resides.
Joanna and her mother have been away from Dad and an older sister for a month now.
I think today is when it probably hit her because she saw the stage. Last night when we had gone to bed, she turned around and she said, "Mom, we're in Houston. I'm really on tour." So I think this is where the reality's setting in.
Christiana's mom shrugs off those who say her 6-year-old is too young for this.
She really loves it, and I don't care what people say. You turn your cheek and you look the other way, and you just, well, she's my daughter. I do what's best for her. She wants to do it. I'm going to do it. She tells me no, then it will be over. But until then, it's full force.
Lindsay's mom has taken a leave of absence from her job as an environmental specialist to be with her daughter.
I know that this is such a fantasy for her that it's like I don't want it to end for her. Opening night is going to be the point when she sees the audience. It'll hit her because there'll be people there.
Finally, 7:45, opening night.
Oh, I'm so proud of you.
Ladies and gentlemen, the call is 15 calling 15.
For the first time, the moms see their orphans. And the kids don't miss a step.
When I get up on stage and I hear the orchestra playing, it's like, oh my God, here it comes. And then when I hear them clap, I just get chills up and down my body. I am having the time of my life. It's the hard knock life. Yes, it is. It's the hard knock life. Yes, it is. It's the hard...
For Zappa, too, it's the first time in front of an audience. By the time you're 12 years old, you've figured out that not many fairy tales come true. But for Joanna Pacitti, a dream is coming true right now.
My friends, welcome to the happiest night of my life.
Sandy's box rolls out on stage. The dog is so new to the role that Bill stays in the box, feeding him cookies to keep him calm. From the audience, a standing ovation. What happened to those ambitious little girls we met tonight whose dreams didn't come true? Since opening night in Houston, Annie has played in 4 other cities. It opens next month on Broadway. Easy. Nell Carter entered the show last month. They're not having any trouble selling tickets. But what about the girls Martin didn't cast? Justine Griffiths, who'd never auditioned for anything before, finally won a role in a regional production of Meet Me in St. Louis. It opens next month. Jane Bailey Patterson went far enough with her Annie audition to encourage her parents, who've signed her up with an agent. She'll be doing more auditions. Red-headed Christine Marie Bogan landed a singing job. She recorded a Christmas song last December. And since her Annie audition, Holly Ott has been cast 3 times in local theater productions. In Snow White, she played Bashful. In It's a Wonderful Life, she played Zuzu, and she'll appear in The Sound of Music coming up in April. As for Andrea McArdle's daughter, Alexis, 3 weeks after her audition for Martin, she was cast as the young Cosette in the Broadway production of Les Miserables, which makes Andrea McArdle, at long last, a stage mother. We'll be back at our regular time with another edition of Turning Point on Thursday, February 27th. And that's our report for this evening. Don't forget to watch Prime Time on Wednesday when Mark Furman talks for the first time about the crime scene and takes us moment by moment through the O.J. Simpson investigation. I'm Barbara Walters, and for all of us at ABC News, good night.
To order a videocassette or transcript of Turning Point, Broadway's new Annie, Search for a Star, call 1-800-913-3434. We welcome your comments and suggestions. Email us at tpoint@abc.com.